since I've been alive, I've known two things. LeBron's gonna be in the NBA Finals and Tom Brady's gonna be in the Super Bowl. You know, that's the two things I've known my whole life. And it's kind of ridiculous because like that isn't normal that what the things they're doing, but it's you know, it's what I'm come accustomed to. I'm not surprised anymore when I see Tom Brady gets to Super Bowl, you know, this year. I won't even blink an eye. But that makes sense. He'll probably win.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to 714 Podcast. I'm here with Gene. How's it going, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a minute since we last spoke, like since the last podcast, really.
Yeah,
and
I think
last year.
Yeah, about last year.
Yeah, but we kept it going in the DMs quite a bit over the past few months, talking basketball and stuff. But a lot's changed for you, right? Like I think you moved to Phoenix. Right?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So a lot of my stuff isn't all the way here, but he moved to Phoenix about 4 or 5 months ago. So I've been making it out of here. I like it out here. So
yeah, Phoenix is a dope city, except the summer. The summer is probably a little too hot for me. For most people, I'd guess. How about for you?
I haven't been here during the summer yet. I've heard about it, so I don't really know. I don't have much input on that, but I've heard about it. I haven't been here yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. In some places, I think it gets like up there with like 120 degrees and shit, so you got to be careful. Like I've seen pictures of melted cars, like literally cars melting on the street, which is unheard of anywhere else. Like,
yeah, I've heard that before, and people have told me that like they leave like their shoes like or something like that in their car and it like shrinks. So
really,
definitely gotta be prepared for
it. Yeah, that's crazy. And I seen you go to a lot of basketball games in Phoenix. The Suns. How's that been?
I've been trying to catch the games when I can because you know in St. Louis we don't have a basketball team, so having a stadium like 20 minutes away is cool. So I try to go to as many games as I can. That but you know they add up. So yeah, I try to go to the games I want.
Yeah. The Phoenix have definitely been doing well this year too, compared even relatively to last year during their playoff run and continuing that progress this season as well.
I honestly didn't expect them to have the season they're having this year. I kind of joke with a lot of my friends around here that like, you know, this team had a fluke season last year, but I mean, they look legit now. So can't really say much about them.
I know. Even Chris Paul, bro, he's been dominating on that team. I think he just needed a decent team his whole career. Like that's what all he needed was a good group of guys to take him through to a playoff run. I mean, yeah,
I'm happy for him. I'm happy. That's even though sometimes he aggravates me on the court, definitely got to root for.
Yeah, he aggravates you on the court sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But are you still more of a Laker fan than a Suns fan?
100%. But I grew up I'm a LeBron fan first, Laker fan second. So I don't really rock with Phoenix. They're cool, but it's LA for me.
Yeah. Same for me. I've rooted for Lakers because I was like grew up around that team and with Kobe and everything. But right now, I don't know. They went on a 5-game win streak, right? Like 5 or 6 games.
It was four. Yeah.
And then now they're on a 2-game losing streak.
As soon as we feel like we're about to, you know, we hit the threshold, now we're there, we turn it back and become the same team we were when we were struggling. So it's definitely disappointing to see that.
Yeah. What do you think is the main issue with the Lakers right now?
Shoot. I mean, I guess the main overall issue is just health, you know. As soon as it seemed like we were starting to get healthy, COVID hit us pretty hard. We lost a lot of our guards. We had to bring in Isaiah Thomas, Darren Collison, and things like that. But there's multiple issues wrong with this team. You know, a lot of people like to point the finger at Russell Westbrook, which rightfully so, he hasn't been good this season. But I mean, he's been one of the only consistent factors that we've had this year. So I don't like to point all the fingers at him. I just don't think the fit is, working the way it should. A lot of people want to point at Frank Vogel, the coaching, the rotations, the defense, lack of effort. Like, yeah, it's just there's a lot of issues there. Yeah. There's a lot of issues. I mean, it overall just comes down to health. There's been what they say, like 40 something different starting lineups. It seems like every night we have a new starting lineup. Really? So players just can't get comfortable when you're consistently changing up the role, consistently changing up the starting lineup in the minutes for everybody. So I understand the frustration from everybody, but at the same time, it's like, I want to see this team healthy. That's like my number one goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you have a healthy team, it's easier to build chemistry, because in practice, you get to, do scrimmages or whatever, but it's different in a game scenario with that intensity, with actually having like game changing moments. You have to build chemistry through that. And the only way to do that is having a healthy team. And so
100%.
with the Lakers, yes, even LeBron, I think, said it multiple times, like, we haven't even been healthy at all this season, right? Like, nobody's had the time to mesh together, and it shows. But even with that win streak, it shows with that lack of chemistry, people like Malik Monk and sometimes Avery Bradley, like, if those guys step up, this could be a really good team. Like, they just need that those people stepping up consistently, and we have a shot,
Yeah, I think it's because Malik Monk and maybe Bradley, especially Monk, has finally found his role on the team. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you see him when he plays, he like oozes with confidence. I think he knows who he is and what he's supposed to be on this team. So I think that's why a lot of people have been so happy about him, and he's been playing so well. It's just he knows his role in this team now, and I pray to God that it does not change when Anthony Davis comes back. But you never know.
How long is Anthony Davis supposed to be out for?
I heard a rumor that he might come back at the end of the month, but I'm not really sure. They've been very hush about it. Mm-hmm. I try to keep up as much as I can. I follow a lot of pages, so I feel like I'd be one of the first to know, but yeah, they've been very hush about it. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he comes back for All-Star break.
Yeah, hopefully. Right now, who's your favorite team to watch? I know you've been posting about like the Bulls and Memphis with Ja Morant.
Ja's been so fun to watch. I mean, even when he played against us, the crazy block he had, he's just so athletic. Beginning of the year with Chicago, they're struggling right now. Memphis is fun to watch. I'm trying to think. There's another team that I really enjoy watching games of. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, he's fun to watch, and Karl Anthony Towns. They have a good roster over there. I don't know. I think that's those ones I'd go with off the top of my head. I just can't think of anybody else. But
for me, for me, it was like the Bulls at first. That was Zoe and Levine, like that duo right there was insane. Like that, and Lonzo got a lot better from three this season, so it was fun to watch him.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then also his brother. That's also a fun team when he's healthy. LaMelo. Charlotte Hornets are fun to watch, but yeah, these young guys are showing like, it's more than just LeBron and KD and these mega stars. There's a lot of other talent in this league, Oh
yeah, it's been a good year. There's been a lot of talent this season. I think a lot of guys, if you ask a lot of people where their MVP ranking is, I feel like everyone's gonna be a little bit different because there's just been so much talent this year. So
yeah, who do you think's the MVP in your opinion?
Right now, I say Kevin Durant. I just think that he's been phenomenal this season. I mean, you look at his, just look at if you even want to look at the numbers and the way he's been playing, it's very similar to his MVP season he had in OKC. So, it's kind of hard to argue that, especially with them being I think they're number 2 in the East. They might be number 1 now since Chicago lost. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at standings, but they were number 2 in the East last time I checked. I know a lot of people have been saying like Jokic, Joel Embiid, who's been on a tear.
Yeah,
he has 30 every night, it seems really? Like. So, John Morant's up there. There's a lot of guys this year. It's a very interesting season.
Yeah. John Morant, this is his second season, right? Or am I wrong?
I think it's his third.
Third.
Season.
Third. Yeah, and he looks better than most people. Like it's amazing to see his growth. Like I wasn't too big of a I didn't have too big of eyes on him like during his rookie season and stuff. Like I've heard of him. I knew he was good. But this season it seems different. Like he's been performing at a high level consistently throughout every game.
It's funny you said that. Like, shameless plug, I just literally got done like rendering my video that I made. I was talking about how I was wrong about John, because him coming out of college, I didn't think he was gonna be anything too crazy. He was the second overall pick, but he went to Murray State, so I was like, I didn't really have any competition. And he was definitely a guy that this year I'm really like, oh, okay, I was wrong. Like I didn't know he had this in him. So
yeah, he's definitely fun to watch, and he got injured, I think, a few weeks ago, and he had one bad game, I think, and then the Memphis fans were booing him, saying how he, like, you got to play better and stuff, and he improved like right away. That next game, he came back stronger than ever and continued that. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to make an impact on the court for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. For KD though, I think I haven't heard much about like Brooklyn, but I think the expectations were in the beginning of the season were too high, so that like right now it just seems like they're doing okay. I
mean they're second in the East. To me, that game they had, I think it was earlier this week against Chicago. I think it was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
They look dominant. They look like the best team in the East. Well, yeah. Shoot, I can't even say that because Milwaukee looked really good. But I looked at them in Milwaukee this week as like 1-2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that game against was it the Bulls that you said? Yeah, they won by I think 20 points or somewhere.
Yeah, something ridiculous. They blew them out. So
yeah,
it was definitely.
And now Kyrie is back, so that I think that plays an impact. Yeah,
no, definitely Kyrie coming back, being the part-time player is an interesting, spectacle. Never seen it before, but he's been with him back. He came back, had 20 points his first game back. He's Kyrie Irving. So
yeah, I think that's what people expected, right? Like he didn't just stop playing basketball just because he wasn't, officially on the team during those months. He's still a basketball player. He loves the game. So he's definitely practicing, but now he's officially on the team. And do you know why what did the rules change for that? Like the vaccination rules or?
No, I think what happened was, he was always allowed to play on the road, but they didn't. I know the team was saying they weren't going to have him play, but I think they just changed their mind because of COVID and players. I don't know. They just kind of changed, and
so he's only playing on the road.
As of right now, yes, until the rules change.
So. Yeah, damn. Yeah, I was in New York a few weeks ago, and I went to the Knicks game over there. And
I saw that. Yeah.
It was a really fun experience, but you could tell like. It's pretty tight regulations. Like you had to have a vaccine. Like they show it. You had to show the vaccine card right at the entrance with ID. So they match the ID and Vax card, and that's the only way you could go into the stadium. And it's definitely in New York. It's definitely pretty harsh vaccine mandates right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's different than here. There's no mandates here. No one cares. So
yeah, it's so wild how one group of people in a certain area have completely different regulations, and it's okay. Like we accept that if one place over here is different than this other place, and who knows? Like it's been a wild year for sure. Like even have you gotten the booster yet? Like that booster?
I have not gotten the booster, no.
Yeah. For me, I have to get it because of school. Like that they're requiring to students to get a booster after 6 months, and I got my vaccine in May, so I have to get it for next semester. So it's crazy that they just keep requiring vaccines all the time, and I understand what Kyrie was trying to avoid is, you know, if it's his body and his his body, and he's an athlete and wants to keep his shape as best as he can, then, you know, he should have that independence. And same with Novak Djokovic. I think that's been in the news a lot, how he's always been like sort of a person that doesn't take vaccines at all. Like he's talked about not taking vaccines before COVID, and now it's he can't. I'm not sure if he can't play in the U.S. Open or the Australian Open yet, but they're working out something. I don't know what's happening.
I didn't hear about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, he got a visa to Australia to play for the Australian Open, which is this week, I believe, January 17th. It's gonna start, and he got the visa, and you're supposed to have a vaccine, but somehow he got it cleared. He got a negative test or something. So they cleared him, and then now they're revoking it again. And there's still like something happening within the court systems. I don't know what's happening, but it's wild.
Yeah, no, I haven't got my booster. I really haven't planned for it right now. There's no requirement here. So I'm just kind of chilling. I actually just had it, you know, last week I had COVID. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. You were telling me earlier, or telling me through text that you were feeling sick and you just got a test that day. So.
Yeah. So I'd had it all week, you know. I'm still trying to kind of recover. I'm a little congested still, so I can't really go on and talk for long without like having like blow my nose or something. But yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't terrible, but I know it's been a different case for everybody else. So I don't know. I feel like now I have the antibodies in me. I feel a lot safer.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, or where do you think you got it from out of all the things?
So I went back home to visit my family. I went to my friend's graduation party, and a lot of my friends there had got sick too. So I'm pretty sure I got it from there.
Yeah.
So
it's so different. Like everybody gets it from the weirdest places. Like, and you can't really tell. Like I was at the New York Knicks game with 20,000 people in Madison Square Garden, and most people didn't have their masks, but we know that everybody's vaccinated that's in the building, or have a negative test, but it's, I didn't get COVID, and so didn't any of my cousins and friends that were with me. So who knows the mystery of how people get it, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. I'll go to a Suns game or something, you know, I'll be perfectly fine, but I go to a thing with 30 people, I get COVID. Yeah, you know, it happens. So whatever.
It's wild. Yeah, it's life. Speaking of large events and stuff, last month you went to that Drake and Kanye concert. How was that experience?
Yeah. It was crazy. It was kind of a last minute idea. I was like, I want to go. So I flew out there. It was a spectacle. You know, I've never seen Kanye in person. So to see Kanye do that, and he played like all his hits, literally every hit you could think of. It was amazing because I've always been a huge Kanye fan. So it was like a dream come true. Like I get to hear every song I wanted to hear, you know? So it was, I don't know, words. It's kind of hard to describe in words. It was great though. Drake was a little underwhelming. His set wasn't that long, and he didn't really give us the hits like Kanye did. So I was a little upset about that. But other than that, no, I really enjoyed the show. I went there literally only for a day. Flew in that night, went straight to the show. So it was a wild journey to even get there, but definitely worth it. I definitely would do it again. I know he's doing Coachella. My friend's like, you should buy a ticket. And I'm like, I don't know, but
Coachella's a little different. Like that's like not even in a stadium. You just gotta commit basically for 3 days of just partying and like just having a good time for 3 days straight, because that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean Coachella, that's a different beast. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I've never done a festival in my life.
Uh-huh.
I've been to shows before, but a festival, that's something a little different for me.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided on that one yet.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I know he's doing that, so I'm like, okay, that's dope. He's been doing a lot more shows lately, so
hmm
happy to see
Yeah.
him back out there.
Yeah. That concert in December was insane because I thought he was going to do a few songs. Like, I didn't expect the classics to come out. That was the biggest uh, exciting thing that happened was he started with graduation or with the late registration and went through the whole discography with every hit,
Yeah,
bro, and
yeah,
performed it at a high level. Like you could tell he was putting his heart into it in every song. Like even if I didn't go in person, but like I could feel it through watching the
oh
video.
yeah, yeah. You
hmm
could. He was up there dancing and everything. I was like, I haven't seen Kanye like this in so long. I always see him with the mask on and
hmm
no mask, no anything. Like he seemed like he wanted to do that performance, So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was his idea, for the Free Larry Hoover.
hmm
So, that was definitely a show that I'm happy I went to because that was,
Yeah,
one of
that's
the best
legendary.
shows. Yeah, it
That's
was a legendary show. It's one of the best shows
mhm.
I've seen him do.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in person, but like, just heard of and saw. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was a legendary.
How's the stage like with the all the lights and fog and
Yeah, so half
how's
the
that
time
in
at the beginning
person?
you really couldn't see him. There's so much fog.
Yeah.
There's so much fog. But it was a cool stage setup. It sounded electric in there.
hmm
Every beat drop he had and everything. It was just the audio. I don't know the exact terminology for like the audio and the AV stuff that they do in there, but
Yeah, it was electric.
yeah, it was crazy. Like I could feel it. You could feel it throughout your body every time
hmm
that songs came on.
Yeah, that he's just a special artist. Like if you could talk about him all you want, what he does, and or what it shows in the media, all these articles and stuff. But if you're just a Kanye fan for the music, you're gonna enjoy yourself because that's who he is, in my opinion. Like that's where he's at his best, is just making music and sharing it with the world. He he's been he's just been a amazing talent to listen to throughout the years, and even now he I saw him photographed in the studio, or he even released a song with the game, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't listen
Just
to it yet,
last
but
night.
I heard about it. I haven't listened to it, but
Yeah, I haven't listened to it. Or actually, no, I haven't, because I think it was only exclusive to Spotify for a
Mhm.
little bit, and I was like, I don't have the premium, so I was just like gonna wait until it dropped on the other platforms.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's good to see him back making music. Like for a long time after he did that. What was the album? Jesus is King. Is that
Mhm.
the one that dropped in 2020?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, and he dropped that one, and it was a different version of Kanye. But I'm back. I'm glad to see him back making music that he's always been making, like the with Donda. That was a fun album to listen to, and yeah, it's good to see him perform and stuff. But
Yeah, he seems happy again. I
mhm,
know him and Kim Kardashian have the divorce and all that. If you want to believe it, don't want to believe it, whatever. That's for TMZ. But
yeah,
just at least what we've seen, it seemed like that took a toll on him. He loves his kids a lot. So, I really don't know what's going on there. That's between them. But I'm happy to see him.
yeah,
He appears happy now.
mhm. Yeah. The media portrays, like, that entertainment world of media portrays these characters like uh as something harmful. Whenever somebody does anything, whether Kanye like dates this other girl, like they just fucking blow it up out of proportions, and even with the divorce stuff, like I don't know what they're trying to do. Of course, it's probably for views, but it's just it
Yeah.
doesn't seem right, like doing that
Yeah.
with people's lives. Right.
Yeah, that's why I don't really go too strong into that. Everyone's like, oh, they're divorced. I'm like, I don't know if they're really divorced or not, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not TMZ. I don't keep up with that stuff. that's for them to decide. I just want to see Kanye happy as a fan. That's all I care about.
Yeah, yeah. Who else have you been listening to this year or recently?
Way too much of a young boy. I've been falling in love with Nardo Wick. He's been really good. I liked his project. Gunna, of course, he just dropped.
Yeah.
I liked his project a lot. Tyler, the Creator, was actually my favorite album last year. I thought his album was beautiful.
Yeah. Tyler, the Creator, is such a genuine guy too. Like whenever you listen to his interviews, he's just solely himself. Like you could feel it through his music and his interviews and wherever he conversates with people and the way his fashion is. He's just 100% himself, and you could tell through everything he does.
Yeah, I agree. He's I had watched an interview about him last year. I don't know when it was, but you just hear him talk about the stuff that he does. You can see his passion in it and how much he loves and enjoys it. And he just seems like a guy that's very comfortable in his skin. Some people, you don't get that a lot, but he's comfortable who he is. And he's always been that way. A lot of people didn't like him early in his career because he was very vulgar with his tone and, the things he said and his antics and all that. But,
that's just who he is. That's
who he is. It was development. He was a young 20-year-old with a 20-year-old millionaire. That was in an era where being crazy was fun, was cool. So, he's definitely cooled off now. And, he's always been very, very musically talented. And we're seeing that. And everyone's like, oh, this guy's great. It's like, he's always been great. He just, now it's just great without the vulgarness.
Yeah. He's just matured a lot through years of,
100%.
Just time, really just time. And yeah. And you spoke of Gunna's new album. I listened to that. I enjoy Gunna's music for the sake of just like sitting down and just fucking have it blasting. That's the only time. Or in the car, you just get in that zone. Gunna has the ability to flow on like any beat with like any style beat that I think Wheezy produces good beats for him. And he kills it every time on all of his albums, even his last album. I forget what it's called, but it had, I forget what it's fucking called. But that last album was great. This album was fucking amazing. Him and Lil Baby on 25K Jacket. That was a good track. Yeah, I like listening to him.
Yeah, I like this project a lot. I know he's getting a lot of feedback, good feedback on it, I guess. So I enjoyed it. I've been listening to it a lot. So good project to start the year off.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people don't really drop projects in the beginning of the year. I know The Weeknd even dropped that same day. Usually that's...
Oh, yeah. The Weeknd did drop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't listened to that one too much. Like I'm a Weeknd fan, but I'm not that diehard of like listening to every song on the album. And I just wait until people kind of pick like a good song from the album, and then I listen to that one. It's just like I'm not that big of a fan of his, but I still love his music.
Oh yeah, his music is cool. I've never been a huge Weeknd guy anyways. I did listen to it. I liked it, but I'm not the one to really critique it because I don't really listen to The Weeknd a lot. So
yeah,
but it was cool. Something I throw in late at night.
Yeah. The Weeknd has been making hits for a long ass time though. Like for a long ass time. I think he's had the same kind of trajectory as Drake in a lot of ways. Like that same come up, the same time period of him and Drake just growing together. But then Drake has just, I don't know, Drake's in another world. In music in general, it seems like he's somewhere outside of everything else. Like everybody is trying to get that attention like he has. I don't know how he did it, but he just doesn't make a bad song like ever, in my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he's Drake. There's not much you can really say about him. There's a reason why people call him the GOAT of our generation. So he's Drake. So I don't know. Not much you can really say. He's just that guy.
Yeah, I don't know, his music has always been a big part in my life, just listening to him throughout the years. But I've never really seen like seen like the hype around him until maybe like 2018 is when I started realizing this guy is like fucking taking over the universe. Like this is unheard of, like Michael Jackson level of, fame and praise. But before that, if you looked at like that Take Care album, that's like my first that's the first album that I've listened to of Drake, and I was listening to that when it first came out. And then If You're Not Reading This, It's Too Late, that mixtape came out, and that had some good hype around it and attention to it. But it wasn't until I think 2018 where when God's Plan came out, and when you heard and when you saw every single person playing that at school and on the radio, it was just like, how did this guy, take over this much? Like, it's crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's funny you said that. I've been watching this like documentary about him on YouTube. Just like, just kind of seeing the trajectory of his career. This guy was an actor at Degrassi, that Canadian show, and then he became a rapper. People didn't really want to take him seriously. And now, he's probably not probably is the number one artist in the world right now.
Yeah.
I know I saw some crazy stat. They said like 1 in every 181 songs was a Drake song streamed this year. I know it's absolutely absurd if you really think about it. So, yeah, I mean, I've always liked Drake. He's always in my top 5 of artists. I mean, I feel like that's everybody's top 5. It's just kind of a generic answer, but you can't ever go wrong with him. He can give you any type of mood you ever want. So,
I think I like what you said, that the mood and any type of different song, that's what makes him unique in a way, is that you've never heard of like a rap guy go on a Spanish beat, like, with a Spanish artist and do that. Like, he's so versatile in a lot of ways, where he could do the singing and then go into a rap beat and then even do a UK drill beat with UK rappers and go to the Spanish side. And it's crazy. Like, not very many people can fill all those shoes, but he's somehow managed to fill the gap in his own way. And that's, I think, been the separating factor in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he's a one of a time talent. I don't know. There's so many things you could say about him and who he is. And even when he first came to the game, where like no one was really doing the singing rapping thing, but like now it's like the most popular thing. Everyone wants to be that singing rapping artist, because Drake kind of popularized it. So
yeah. And speaking of like once in a lifetime player or people, LeBron has been that way in basketball and grown into like such a star and influenced so many people. I know he's had a major impact on me, just like being inspired by it. Just, I remember watching the Miami Heat versus Spurs final game where Ray Allen made that last shot and to tie the game or whatever. And I remember watching that series and seeing that dominance, and that carried out for years to come, continuous finals appearances. It's unbelievable to watch. And now you see in year 19, this guy is still performing at the highest level. It's inspiring to say the least. Like, it's pretty
kind of surreal sometimes when I watch him. I've me as a huge LeBron fan. I've been watching him since, I don't know, like, that's always been just by my guy, growing up. And like, I have fond memories of him when I was a kid, was watching him hit shots, hit game winners. And I remember the Ray Allen one you're talking about.
Yeah. I remember that one so vividly.
When I was in elementary, middle school, high school, college, and now I'm graduating from college, and I'm still, tonight I'm gonna watch him on big screen TV, and he's still doing the things that like made me fall in love with him in the first place. It's like, wow, like this guy is, he's transcending. I feel like we're in a special era. We get to see him and also Tom Brady. Tom Brady's been a guy that I've watched. I've never been a Tom Brady fan, but
yeah,
Tom Brady.
You just had to have respect though. Like you had to have respect for those kind of guys.
Since I've been alive, I've known two things: LeBron's gonna be in the NBA Finals, and Tom Brady's gonna be in the Super Bowl. That's the two things I've known my whole life, and it's kind of ridiculous because like that isn't normal that with the things they're doing, but it's it's what I'm come accustomed to. I'm not surprised anymore when I see Tom Brady gets to the Super Bowl. This year, I won't even blink an eye. But that makes sense. He'll probably win.
Yeah, that's every time, bro. Like even though he changed teams, he literally changed teams from the Patriots. People thought the Patriots that's the only place he's going to win. And then he went to Tampa Bay and still won. Like that's insane. And then this season, it still seems like they have a shot, right? Like they're still in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom Brady's on another level. He has 7 Super Bowl rings, I believe.
I think he has 7. Yeah. 7. Something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be this good.
And how old is he? I think he's up there.
I think he's older than LeBron. I think he's in his 40s.
40s? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he's in his 40s. So
yeah. That's crazy.
He has his story, is always crazy. The guy that they show it every year. The guy that was out of Michigan, wasn't drafted high. I think
he was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah, literally something like that, one. So he wasn't supposed to be here, and he has a great story and all that. So I ain't going to repeat it. Everyone's heard it before.
Yeah. Yeah. And even LeBron's story, he's kind of the opposite where everybody expected him to be this great. But I think even those expectations were blown out of the water and he surpassed that.
It's crazy when I think about it, how do you have the expectations of being the greatest player ever when you're in high school and you shatter those expectations? It's like, I've never seen anything like it. You can make the argument with Tom Brady was basically, playing with house money right now. He's already surpassed his expectations, but like LeBron surpassed him, but it was, he had a mountain to climb and he climbed it and making another one. So he's surreal. I don't think we'll ever see another LeBron ever again. That's why I just like to watch him play and just cherish the moments that we have. This isn't regular. You're not supposed to be seeing this in year 19.
Yeah, I know. I'm grateful as fuck to be able to witness, and even the time period that like we grew up in where we get to see from like the 2010 to 2020, like all those years of him playing at a high level, and being able to witness that is a masterpiece in and of itself. Like just being able to see his growth in the game and how every year it seems like he's improved. It's not like like most players
never had a decline.
Yeah, never had a decline whatsoever. Most players you see, they had one great season over here and then maybe another great season over here. But it just seems like this guy was constantly improving himself, and that's probably due to his mindset and basketball and in life, and just how laser focused he is all the time. Like he even said a few times, or he said in this one video, he was walking in the tunnel, going back to the locker room, and he said, "Tired is a mindset." He just said, I'm not tired. Tired is a mindset. Like tired is something that if you think you're tired, you're going to be tired. So he's like, I'm not tired. I'm just going to keep going. We got another game in 2 days. We got to get prepared for that. Never takes a loss like too hard. Of course he's hard on himself, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like he just goes into the workshop and improves his craft and continues to play no matter what people say about him, no matter what the articles say. He just like has his ears closed and his eyes closed and just fucking does his work.
No vision. Yeah.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing after he retires, I would love to see like a big book on him. Like they have the ones with Kobe and his mindset, but I would love to really kind of get into LeBron's mind because, I think that's the thing that's never really spoke about is LeBron's mindset. So I would love to like hear more about his mindset and, what made him into the guy he is and how he stays focused.
Yeah. Yeah. He's never really talked about it too much. And
yeah.
And yeah, that would be really dope. And even a documentary like Michael Jordan's Last Dance and see his take on during the Warriors kind of battle in the finals. That would be fun to watch.
I would love to watch that. I would love to watch that. I would pay money for that. That'd
I would pay money for that too, bro. Where during those years, as a LeBron fan, did you despise the Warriors or were you just like,
day. Yeah, every day I woke up and despised them. Those were some hard years, Great basketball, amazing basketball. Like, we're seeing.
I look back at it now; it was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing elite level talent, elite level shooting, elite level. I mean, you have Kevin Durant going against LeBron James with the greatest shooter right there on the side with Kyrie Irving, one of the greatest finishers we've seen on a point guard. Like it was elite level basketball. But at the time, you're so mad about the Warriors and who they were. So it was. I look back at it now and I enjoy it, but at the time, it was just stressful. I didn't have no fun during those days. I just stressed every day. How are we gonna beat this thing? So,
yeah, bro. It seemed like they were impossible to beat. Like they were the juggernauts. I think at one point in one of the seasons, they had the best record and they only lost like 9 or 10 games that whole season or something like that. And I believe that year was the year that the Cavs won. Actually, they had the best record. And then they came back from 3-1 down. That was insane. But the previous years of the Warriors like dominating to the point where no other team it felt like can match this like or can ever win. Like it's not that's what it seemed like as a kid watching that. Like who's gonna beat this team?
I've never seen a team so dominant. Like now you see these great teams, but there's nothing like watching those Warriors. You're like, you're like LeBron is the only hope. He was like a superhero. Like he's the only guy that has a chance.
Only guy.
It was cool.
Yeah. And Steph Curry, like that man changed the game completely. During that time, I despised that team just because they were too good. Like not because it was that they were bad people or like the basketball wasn't fun. It's just I wanted to see, like I wanted to hope for the underdog. Like I wanted something that can somebody beat this team in any way? And during that time, it didn't feel like it. But now that I look back, I appreciate the craft that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steve Kerr's coaching. Like I appreciate all that now looking back. And it definitely changed the game. A lot more people started practicing threes and started practicing their shooting because of that team, Yeah.
Curry has a huge effect on the way the game's played now and how many shots and threes we see. Right? Yeah. You walk in and watch a pickup basketball game, see how many jump shots are getting taken. Curry had an effect on all that. You can argue for the good or worse, but he definitely had a big effect on how we play now. You even see LeBron shooting a lot more threes than he did in his earlier years. So yeah, they were definitely one of those transcending teams.
Definitely one to look back on and see those great moments and show the evolution of the league in a lot of ways. Should we wrap this up? I know you said that you can't really talk for too long or
unless you have anything else, I'm cool with you as long as you have anything else you want to ask or talk about.
This was a really fun conversation, bro. Like I appreciate you taking the time and doing this.
Of course. We'll always keep in touch. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Anytime I have free time, I'll let you know. Been just
how are Carlos and them doing?
So they're good. They live with me. They're I think Alex went off to work. I don't know where Carlos. I think I heard the garage, but they're good. Everyone's just been. It was a hard transition, so just still trying to figure out life and figure out our day to day and stuff like that. It's a little. It's different, living on the West Coast. Living on your own and having to figure everything out. So it's always something new. It's interesting though.
Yeah, it's part of the process of life, just new experiences, and it's good to see you guys, still together and everything. Like, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, together every day.
Yeah. All right, man. This was fun. And to everybody listening, hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as well. And have a good day.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Peace.